Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, Dr. Noraihani. My name is Muhammad Azrain bin Raja Ibrahim. Today, I'm going to presenting for the program of the market strategy and principle of 4Ps in the part of program APT 3083 Strategic Entrepreneurships. Okay, and now in the table of contents, we have summarized that we have certain value points here, which are executive summary followed by introductions, business model canvas and formations 1 and 2. Another point with business strategy approach 1 and 2, together with competitive strategy. Another point with the 4Ps of marketing mix, as well, customer service and relationships, and a closing part with appendices and others. For the first part, in the executive summary, strategic entrepreneurships or SE, it is defined or typically defined as organizational consequential innovations within existing firms that involve the combinations or integrations of opportunity and advantage seeking behaviors, while strategic entrepreneurships is represented by entrepreneurial activity applied in the strategic context of businesses, which to develop expertise within their core skills and resources and leveraging from that by transferring and applying with their knowledge of those skills and resources to the new business product services and markets force. Thus, in the introductions, the competitive strategy consists in a part of the business approaches and initiative undertaken by a company to attract customers and to deliver superior value to them through fulfilling their expectations as well as to strengthen its market position. There are certain value points in the market value nowadays in the electronic, which is Amazon, and by physical for two with Walmart and big stores. Business model canvas formations by Encik Hishamuddin.
Okay, thank you, Encik Azrin, and hello to Doctor and members of the floor. Okay, one of the interesting topic when we talk about business is about business model canvas. Popular name is, we call it BMC. What is business model canvas or BMC? Model canvas or BMC in our business. So here I will explain to all of you the advantages of the business model canvas. The reason why you might want to create a BMC or business model canvas is that they have the following advantages. All right. First, it is easy. Excuse me. It is easy to understand because the canvas on just a single page and it's very visual. It's very easy to understand. It is focused. It removes any fluff that might have been present in a traditional business model. Okay, next is flexible. It's quick and easy to make changes to your model and sketch out different ideas. And it shows connections. The single page graphical nature of the canvas shows how the different parts of the model interrelate to each other. This can be really difficult to ascertain from a traditional business plan. All right. The first thing to notice is that there are 9 elements or building blocks which makes up the canvas. I will explain it to you one by one. The first is customer segment, 2 value proposition, 3 channels, 4 customer relationships, 5 is revenue stream, 6 key resources, 7 key activities, 8 key partnership, and 9 cost structure. Okay, from the slide that we can see about the 9 boxes, So each of the elements, there just one thing to be aware. Those elements on the left-hand side of the canvas represent costs to the business, whereas elements on the right-hand side generate revenue for the business. Okay, let's have a look one by one. Let me explain one by one about all those 9 blocks of the BMC. Okay, first, customer segment. What is customer segment? Customer segments is it is important point to get across here is that customer don't exist for you, but rather you exist to serve your customer. Many businesses will serve just one customer segment, but not all. For example, Google serves 2 customer segments, people performing searches as well as advertisers. 2, value proposition. The value proposition describes the value that you deliver to each customer segment and what problem do you solve for each customer segment. What needs do you satisfy, and the value proposition answers the question. All right, and next we go for channel. Channels refers to how your product or services are sold to customers. To complete this section, ask yourself, how do your customer want to be reached? How are you reaching them now? It is about the channel. How do we get or to reach to the customer? So next, we go for customer relationships. This building block answers the question of how you get, keep, and grow customers. You mean how do you build up your rapport with the customers? Next, talk about revenue stream. Where does the money come from? Means the sources of the income for your company, all right? Next, we go for key resources. This block describes your most important strategic assets that are required to make your business model work. Next, we go for key activities. This block are the most important strategic things you must do to make the business model work. Key activities should be directly relatable to your value proposition. And next, we go for key partners. This block, you list the tasks and activities that are important but which you will need to yourself. Instead, you will use suppliers and partners to make the business model work. And the last but not least, in the cost structure. In this structure, we want to map your activities to cost. We also want to ensure that costs are aligned with our value proposition. Okay, I think that's all from me about business model canvas. Mr. Azrin.
Yes, thank you, Encik Ishamuddin. The business model canvas is a part of tools by entrepreneurial, whereas the instance to direct sales, franchising, advertising based, and brick and mortar stores in example of traditional business models. So this is a such of unique within these broad categories we have to consider for the industry or relevant business. Now, furthermore, in the business strategy approach 1, we have a certain part to care, which is PESTLE. PESTLE is the special tools for the business strategy, which includes political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors. There are certain value we have to care about and to build up and growth a business strategy point. It is also to allow a company to form an impressions of the factors that might impact a new business or industry. Another point with the business strategy approach too, in here we can see 4 types of competitive strategy by Michael Porter's 4 generic strategies. In here, we can see that the markets where business competes, another point with source of competitive advantage. In the blue line, we can see that a cost leadership strategy, another point with best cost strategy. Meanwhile, in the green line below, we can see that differentiation strategy with focus strategy. So in the name of the domain of well-defined strategy, there are uniquely different strategy types. In here, we can see three of them. It is a business strategy, followed by operational strategy, and also transformational strategy. In the competitive strategy, they have a certain value point which we have to care about. It is about eight dynamics of competitive strategy, or CE. In here, we can see that such value point, which includes a strategic analysis, followed by industry and competitive analysis. Another part of core competence, followed by competitive advantage with portfolio analysis, SWOT analysis, globalizations, and competitive landscape. So that we have to clear that competitive strategy is about, or we can define as a long-term plan of a particular company in order to gain competitive advantage over its competitors. It is about ROI, or return on investment. Meanwhile, in the marketing process, the four P's of marketing mix tools is required to those business players. It is about a product, price, place, and promotions. In here, we can see certain value points with description details under product, which are features, quality, branding, packaging, service, and warranties. While in the price, it is about price strategy, pricing itself, allowance, discounts, and payment terms. In another part of a place, we have to care about channels, market coverage, assortment, locations, inventory, and transportations. For the promotion, it is about sales and promotion. In terms of advertising, public relations, and also direct marketing. So this is all terms and such key tools we have to identify for the marketing mix process. Now take a look for this CRM, customer service and relationships. This is how we manage to engage with customer or consumer in relationships. The better of service you are giving is the better you will get someday in the manner of relationships. By the way, the brand loyalty has everything to do with how consumers perceive your brand. The consumers has the right and loyal to a brand because they believe you offer a better service and a higher quality than anyone else. This is a part of very important to care. It's about customer service and relationship, or CRM. In the last part, by conclusions, there are certain value points we have to care by its knowledge and theoretical part. The study is about strategic management study, which to provide tools by effectively to manage organization. It is a part of involve the art of knowing how and when to apply it in the creative thinking. By the knowledge factor, the both of art and science of strategic management is needed, which is to have guide organizations as their strategies to emerge and evolve over the time. For the appendices, there are certain parts we have identified, and we notified that such fundamental key tools with the essentials of strategic management and the rules of business strategy, as well as competitive strategy to the name of business. There are unique or certain ways to improve your product, or even in the business strategy. It is also to care about cost leaderships, product differentiations, and marketing differentiations. That's all. The last word, but not least, with the highest appreciation to University Malaysia Kelantan and the beloved lecturer of strategic entrepreneurships, Dr. Nur Raihani binti Zainal. Thank you once again for the lectures for this semester. I hope we will see you soonest. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.